Guess what? I've got some juicy details on Tribby, my day, and some exciting updates. You know I wouldn't keep this tea to myself, so let's jump straight into it. Let's start with Tribby full breakdown, because she's about to shake things up big time. Huge shout out to Shiroha and Seely for the info. So, Tribby is a 5-star quantum character who follows the harmony path. Think of her as supportive buffer with damage-dealing capabilities that scale off her max HP. Think of her as a strategic support unit who helps her team hit harder by reducing enemy resistances, while also dealing decent quantum damage herself. Starting with her basic attack, she deals quantum damage to a single enemy and adjacent targets equal to her max HP. Yup, her damage scales off her HP, which makes her super tanky and deadly at the same time. On the other hand, her skill grants all allies some amount of resistance penetration against all elements for a certain number of turns. This makes your team hit way harder by reducing enemy resistances. But here's the catch. The buff's duration reduces by 1 turn at the start of Tribby's turn. Now, her ultimate is where things get spicy. It consumes some amount of energy and creates a barrier around your team. While that barrier is active every time an enemy is attacked, the enemy with the highest HP takes additional damage equal to some of Tribby's max HP. And if that wasn't enough, she finishes it off by nuking all enemies with a burst of quantum damage. Her talent makes her even more fun to play. Whenever any ally uses their ultimate, Tribby's like, "I'm not missing out on the action," and performs a follow-up attack, dealing quantum damage to all enemies based on her max HP. Oh, and her technique? This girl doesn't waste any time. She automatically casts her skill when the battle starts, setting your team up for success from the get-go. Introducing LDShop, one of most reliable and secure top-up site for Honkai Star Rail. Here you all will get cheaper prices on Stellar Jade top-ups, sourced through official partners. And the best part? No need to share your account details, simply enter your server and game UID, and you're good to go. As you guys can see, I got my Express Supply Pass. Enjoy safe and fast delivery. Your Stellar Jades are credited in just 5 minutes. You guys can use my link to get extra 5% off coupon. And if you guys spend $80 in a month, you can unlock VIP membership, which include amazing bonuses, including supply rewards. And don't forget to try your luck in the monthly Lucky Spin event for exclusive prizes. To visit LDShop, click on link in description and comments, and take your Honkai Star Rail journey to the next level. Now let's get going with her traces. First trace. Restores some amount of energy at the start of battle, which means she doesn't require much energy. Second trace. During her ultimate, Tribby increases her max HP by some percentage of the total max HP of all allies. Her third trace, after triggering the additional damage from the ultimate, Tribby's damage increases by some percent, stacking up to X times. One important thing to note is that Tribby's damage boost and defense ignoring abilities apply only to herself, not to her teammates. So, while she boosts her own power significantly, she's more of a support queen for resistance reduction. Oh, and fun fact, there's a rumor she might be able to cast her ultimate immediately upon entering the memory of chaos. Imagine the chaos that'll cause. Now let's talk about her eidolons. Her Eon ultimate's additional damage is increased to some percentage of the original value, and an extra instance of additional damage is triggered. 2. When triggering the ultimate's additional damage, Tribby deals an extra true damage. 4. While the ultimate is active, Tribby's attacks ignore some of the enemy's defense. E6. Tribby's ultimate's additional damage is increased by some percentage. Well, her eidolons doesn't seem that broken to me. Now, let's talk about her light cone. It works like this. Whenever an ally attacks an enemy, Tribby gains some stacks, and when she activates her ultimate, she consumes all those stacks to grant crit damage to all allies and restore energy to herself based on the number of stacks consumed. It's a win-win situation. Your team gets stronger, and Tribby gets her energy back. Well, she is so energy friendly. Now, moving on to my day. He's a 5-star monster who scales heavily with HP. Think of him as a tanky DPS who refuses to die, no matter how hard the enemies hit. He can potentially reach 30,000 HP, yeah. You heard that right. But as for my Dia's 30,000 HP, that might be a bit too extreme under normal circumstances. But with specific conditions, he might be able to reach that level. Without those conditions, he's more likely to hover around 25,000 HP. He's expected to function as an HP scaling DPS with tank-like abilities. There's speculation that he might have a taunt ability, drawing enemy attacks toward himself. Now, about those 3 glyphs beneath him, they're the biggest mystery right now. Some theories suggest that these glyphs could be tied to death immunity, because why not have a character who refuses to die? Or a revival mechanic that lets him come back to life once per battle. Imagine a character who combines the best parts of Blade, Jingliu, and Fuxuan. He drains his own HP, deals massive damage, and maybe even resurrects himself. Sounds broken, right? Now, the big question, will Tribby and My Day be a good team? Honestly, it's too early to say for sure. Their kits seem to have some overlapping mechanics, but we need to see how things play out in the version 3.1 beta. For now, let's keep our eyes peeled for more info. Speaking of the version 3.1 beta, it's expected to kick off on January 14, 2025. Here's what you can look forward to: Tribby and My Day animations. Can't wait to see their moves in action. Updated kits with more numbers and tweaks, new events, and quality of life changes. And don't forget, the official release date for version 3.0 is January 15, 2025. Alright, Trailblazers, that's all for today's ride. If I get more updates, you know I'll drop them instantly. Remember, your support is what keeps me going.